Join me in a 3-minute chat about pelvic health. Let's start with the pelvic floor muscle. And we ask ourselves, when we activate our pelvic floor muscle, is what we think we're doing in fact what we are doing? And quite often it isn't. And we just squinch and hope for the best. So part of the physiotherapy intervention will be to show you through means of examination and through real-time ultrasound training to show you exactly what your pelvic floor is doing and strategies that you might be using that are unhelpful for your pelvic floor. Sometimes we're doing things that make a perfectly good pelvic floor struggle and we don't even know it. Then looking at stress incontinence, that's the kind of incontinence you get when you cough or you sneeze or laugh sometimes. And it's important then to have a very strong pelvic floor, but sometimes the pelvic floor is working, but it's a little bit delayed. Or sometimes you have pain in different areas that cause the muscle to be inhibited. Sometimes you can have abdominal dysfunction or breathing dysfunction that can play havoc with how the pelvic floor works. So when we have stress incontinence, discovering how to make the pelvic floor do its best work with the muscles around it is a key feature. And then there's urge incontinence. Now, urge incontinence is a weird thing because it's when we desperately feel like we need to go to the toilet and we get to the loo and there's not much there. Now, that urge can be triggered by things like you put your key in the door or you walk into the supermarket and you dread going down the fridge aisle because you know that it's going to be a trigger for you. There's all sorts of things that actually spark that reflex in us. And sometimes that reflex gets way out of whack and starts being very responsive to the smallest signals. And what we develop is a urge management strategy, basically discovering what cues and what strategies you need to put into place to scramble the way your urge is currently operating and causing you a bit of strife. Then we think about pelvic girdle pain. That can be very debilitating. Sometimes it's linked to a sports injury or it can be related to pregnancy. It can be something that you struggle with after you've had prostate surgery. There are many causes, but the testing that we do to find out the why behind the pain is key. So when you have struggles with your pelvic floor or your pelvic health, don't leave it. Get it sorted out. And the physiotherapy offering is profound and very strongly evidence-based.